Millions of people have a tabby cat at home, but very few know the incredible secret hidden within their stripes. Why do they look so much like wild cats? What does the mysterious M on their forehead mean? And most surprisingly, why are all orange cats tabby? Today you'll discover why these cats are much more special than you imagine. Point 1. Are tabby cats a breed? Although millions of people have one at home, there's a very common misconception. Tabby cats are not a breed. The word tabby describes a coat pattern, not the cat's origin. That's why you can find tabby cats in breeds as diverse as the Maine Coon, which can weigh over 20 pounds, the American Shorthair, the Norwegian Forest Cat, or even mixed breed cats. There are also short-haired tabbies, long-haired tabbies, and tabbies in brown, gray, silver, orange, and many other colors. At first glance, they may seem similar, but in reality, each one is unique. The most interesting thing is that no two tabby patterns are exactly alike. Their stripes, spots, and swirls are as unique as a human fingerprint. So the next time you see a tabby cat, remember that you're not looking at a breed, but rather one of the oldest and most fascinating natural patterns in the feline world. And speaking of fascinating, the following fact surprises even many cat lovers. Point 2. Do all cats have tabby genes? It may sound incredible, but all domestic cats possess genes related to the tabby pattern. The difference is that in some cats, these genes are clearly expressed, while in others they remain hidden beneath a seemingly uniform color. This occurs due to a gene that controls whether the coat will display visible patterns or not. When the pattern isn't fully expressed, the cat may appear to be a single color. However, the genetics are still there. In fact, some black or very dark cats reveal their tabby markings when sunlight hits their fur. At that moment, faint stripes or barely visible patterns known as ghost stripes may appear. These markings are proof that the tabby pattern is part of the genetic heritage of virtually all domestic cats. It's as if every cat carries a hidden memory of its ancient ancestors, even if we can't always see it with the naked eye. Point 3. Why are all orange cats tabbed? If you have an orange cat at home, pay attention to this fact because you've probably never been told, all orange cats are tabby. Although some appear to have a solid color, the reality is that they always have a tabby pattern. Sometimes the stripes are very visible, but in other cases they are so faint that they are difficult to distinguish with the naked eye. The reason lies in genetics. The gene responsible for the orange color is closely related to the tabby pattern, so when the orange color appears, the tabby markings are also present. In other words, there is no such thing as a completely solid colored orange cat like there is with other colors. But here's another fascinating fact. Approximately 80% of orange cats are male. This happens because the gene for the orange color is located on the X chromosome. Since males only have one X chromosome, they only need to inherit the gene once to display that color. That's why orange cats stand out not only for their appearance but also for their truly unique genetics within the feline world. And now that we know the secret of orange cats, another interesting question arises. Why do some tabby cats have stripes, others spots, and still others seem to have no visible pattern at all? Point 4. What are the 4 types of tabbed cats? Although we tend to think that all tabby cats have stripes, the reality is much more interesting. There are 4 officially recognized tabby patterns, and each one has a unique appearance. The first is the classic tabby. It is recognized by its large swirls and curves that appear drawn on the body. They often form shapes resembling an eye or a target on the sides. The second is the mackerel, the most common of all. Its fine vertical stripes are reminiscent of those of a tiger, which is why many people picture this pattern when they think of a tabby cat. The third is the spotted tabby. Instead of stripes, it has spots distributed across its body, giving it an appearance similar to that of small leopards. And the fourth is the most curious, the tick tabby. At first glance, it may appear to be a single color, but each hair contains light and dark bands that create a glossy and elegant effect. And although their patterns are different, they all share one characteristic that immediately identifies them. Whether they have stripes, spots, or swirls, all tabby cats bear a mysterious mark on their forehead that has given rise to legends for centuries. Point 5. What does the famous M on the forehead of tabbed cats mean? If you look closely at the forehead of a tabby cat, you'll notice a very special mark. It's a shape that resembles the letter M, a characteristic shared by virtually all tabby cats in the world. From a scientific point of view, this mark is simply the result of the genetic distribution of their color patterns. However, throughout history, it has captured the imagination of many cultures. The ancient Egyptians who revered cats associated this mark with the word Mao, which means cat in ancient Egypt. There are also Christian legends that claim the letter was placed there by Mary as a sign of gratitude to a cat that accompanied the baby Jesus. In Islamic tradition, we also find stories about a cat named Muetza, the favorite of the Prophet Muhammad, associated with this distinctive mark. Although these stories belong to the realm of tradition rather than science, they demonstrate something fascinating. For centuries, humans have considered tabby cats special animals. And speaking of something special, the following characteristic makes many tabby cats look like true wild cats. Have you ever thought that some tabby cats look like little tigers? The reason has a lot to do with their ancestors. Point 6. Why do tabby cats look like wild cats? If you've ever seen a tabby cat walking through the grass or stalking a toy, it probably reminded you of a miniature tiger. And the truth is that impression isn't far from the truth. Tabby patterns are very similar to those found on many wild cats. The stripes of the mackerel tabby are reminiscent of those of tigers, while spotted tabbies can resemble miniature versions of leopards or African wildcats. This is no coincidence. Domestic cats are descended from the African wildcat, a hunter that lived among grasses and shrubs thousands of years ago. Many of the characteristics we see in our cats today are a direct inheritance from those ancestors. In fact, some breeds, like the Egyptian Mau, retain such a wild appearance that many people mistake them for small exotic felines. Although they sleep on comfortable sofas and beds today, tabby cats still carry visible signs in their fur of an evolutionary history that began long before modern homes existed. But those markings didn't just give them a striking appearance. They also served a vital function for survival. Their stripes and spots didn't appear simply to look pretty. For thousands of years, they were a powerful survival tool. Point 7. Do their stripes really help them camouflage? The answer is yes. The stripes, spots, and swirls of tabby cats are not simply an ornament of nature. For thousands of years, these patterns helped their ancestors survive. In nature, being seen can mean losing prey or becoming the target of a predator. That's why many animals developed colors and patterns capable of breaking up their body silhouette and blending into their surroundings. The stripes of tabby cats work exactly that way. Among grasses, bushes, shadows, or dense vegetation, their patterns make it difficult for other animals to clearly distinguish their shape. This ability was especially useful for the African wildcat, considered the direct ancestor of today's domestic cats. Thanks to its camouflage, it could approach small rodents and birds without being detected until the very last moment. The curious thing is that, although most cats today live indoors, they still retain these characteristics inherited from their hunting ancestors. And there's something else that has also survived the passage of time. Even their name has a fascinating history that began hundreds of years ago in a faraway city. The word tabby didn't originate in the world of cats. Its origin dates back to an ancient city famous for its fabrics and unique patterns. Point 8. Where does the word tabby come from? After learning about the genetics, history, and abilities of tabby cats, one last question remains. Where does the word tabby come from? Interestingly, this name wasn't originally coined to describe cats. Its origin dates back to the ancient city of Atabiya, a district of Baghdad famous for producing beautiful silk fabrics with wavy patterns and striking designs. Over time, these fabrics became so popular that they began to be exported to Europe. Merchants and artisans started using an adapted version of the name to refer to these decorated textiles. Centuries later, people noticed that the swirls, stripes, and patterns in the fur of some cats were very similar to those on those fabrics. Gradually, the term came to be used to describe these felines. And so the word tabby was born, which is now used worldwide. The interesting thing is that a name inspired by old fabrics ended up becoming the way to identify the most famous coat pattern on the planet. But after everything we've learned, it's clear that tabby cats are much more than just cats with stripes. After everything we've learned, it's amazing to think that one of the most common cats in the world is also one of the most fascinating. Their stripes, spots, and swirls aren't just decorations. They're the result of a story that began thousands of years ago and that we can still see reflected in our feline companions. Now we want to hear from you. Is your cat tabby? What fact surprised you most in this video? Did you know any of these secrets? Leave your answer in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed discovering what makes tabby cats so special, we invite you to continue exploring the content on our channel, where you'll discover amazing facts about our feline friends. We'll see you in the next video.